Hey everybody, we're going to keep this short this time because even though I saw a lot of movies, I've got a lot of homework at the moment, I don't have much time, and I really don't care. So here we go. Starting with non-movies, I saw the pilot episode of Picard. It's one of the most breakneck paced shows I've ever seen, and the ideas in it are kind of dumb, but I'm going to keep watching it because it has potential, so it's something at the very least. It's no Star Trek Discovery. On to the movies. I watched The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I can see why it was so important. It's old. That's really all I have to say about it. I can't call it bad, because I can see how influential it was, but I don't care. I was actually really excited for when this movie came out. I'd followed the production of it for a long time. It's got a really great cast. It's just unfortunate that the first time I watched it a few months back, it put me to sleep, and I never finished it since. Since then, I have finished it, and it's very disappointing. Like I said, it's got a great cast. This has so much potential to be something really amazing, but the writing is just awful. If this was written better, this would be probably a really fantastic movie. It's unfortunate that it's not. As it is, I don't think I'll ever watch it again, but Zac Efron especially does a really pretty good job in it. Mid-90s was nothing special. It was better than I thought it'd be, and that's about all I can say. Most of the performances were pretty okay. I didn't really care for the main kid a whole lot. I cared for the side characters a lot more, and it went to a lot darker places than I thought it would, which is something at the very least, but I'm never going to watch it again. Under the Skin had lots of cool ideas, but it was long, and most of it was pretty drab, in my opinion. Cool visuals. I doubt I'll ever watch it again, though. It was a one and done. Interesting movie, though, and I still kind of recommend it. As a self-proclaimed fan of Aaron Sorkin, I've been trying to go through more of his movies this past month that I hadn't seen before already. So I watched Charlie Wilson's War, and I'm kind of disappointed. Again, like Shockingly Evil, this has a great cast and all kinds of potential. The script, for the most part, is pretty good and fast-paced, but the direction of it just doesn't make sense for how Aaron Sorkin's work typically goes over. It was fine overall, Tom Hanks was good, and Philip Seymour Hoffman really deserved his Oscar nomination, but other than that, it was just kind of, I don't know. I wanted a lot more from this, but the direction just left me feeling kind of empty. The Post was mostly bland throughout a lot of it, but the moments that were really good were really good. Those moments really shined, and they brought forth the talent of the actors and the wonderful direction by Spielberg. It was good overall. Ending was terrible. I understand why it was there, but it wasn't connected with the rest of the movie whatsoever, so it was just pointless, and it left me kind of disappointed in the end. The Squid and the Whale is about four terrible, pretentious people learning to not be terrible and pretentious anymore, and only half of them achieve that goal, and even then it's only kind of. But it's good. It was really endearing. I don't know. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Inglourious Basterds was good, but I kind of get the feeling that I don't really need to watch it ever again. That's not to say I won't, because I enjoyed it immensely, but something about it just doesn't have as much staying power as something like Pulp Fiction does to me. It's grown on me the more time I've had to think about it. When I watched it, I was just awestruck at how wrong everything was about it. But it's gonna stick with me. Yeah. Reservoir Dogs was really good. It took a little too long to get started, in my opinion, but once it did get started, it just flies by. The American President was really good. It was kind of awkward seeing cast members from The West Wing in a Sorkin piece of media before they were in The West Wing fulfilling different roles. It took a little bit of time to get used to, but once I did get used to it, I really enjoyed the movie. Great writing, obviously. Michael J. Fox is awesome. I really can't complain about a whole lot of this movie. It's really good. Highly recommended. Watch it. It's good. Watch it. This movie was a surprise. I didn't expect it to be as good as it is. But I really enjoyed it. Of all the movies I saw this month, I feel like this one might stick with me the longest. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. I've seen most of the first season of Nirvana the band, the show, and I've seen some of the online episodes before. And now it just makes me more interested to see what Matt Johnson will keep making from here on out. So this movie, especially for a directorial debut, was just fantastic. I have nothing to say about Marriage Story that hasn't been said already. The only interesting thing that I've noticed from other people who've seen it along with me is that we all have a different opinion on who is more right in the situation. And I think if a movie can do that, that's the sign of a very, very good movie. I've never seen so much empathy being portrayed just through editing. Like, just the way that shots are edited together, it's really, really interesting, and it just helps the script be even better. It's very, very good. One of the best movies of this year. Watch it if you haven't already. And the movie I've seen this month that stuck with me the most is the Netflix original movie, I Lost My Body. At first, I really didn't know what to think about this, but it hasn't been able to leave my mind since I saw it. I'm still trying to figure out what the ending is trying to say. It's really, I don't even know. Netflix and their animation, man. I'm telling you, I haven't seen a bad thing yet. The art style is like a nice mix between DYE fantasy, NSP's Mansion Party, and There's a Man in the Woods, the short film. It's a really interesting mix that works together really, really well in the ending, I think. And since I've now seen I Lost My Body, I've seen all of this year's Best Animated nominations for the Oscars. And with the Oscars being only about a week away, I figured I'd like to predict what's going to win and what I'd like to win and stuff like that. I really can't complain about any of the nominations for Best Animated. They're all pretty well deserved. Lego Movie 2 got snubbed. At the very least, it was nominated for Best Original Song, which is something, I guess. But I'd say it's more than likely, in my opinion at least, it's better than The Missing Link. The Missing Link is beautifully animated. It's no Kubo, but it's still really, really good. Just the story by itself isn't anything all too interesting. Toy Story 4 is great. I've talked about that one before. How to Train Your Dragon 3 is fine, but that's all it is. It's not super spectacular or anything. It's got some really great moments, but it's enough. It's a fine ending. But if I had my pick, Klaus would win. Klaus is one of the best animated movies I've seen in a very long time. And if you didn't watch it after my last video, still definitely recommend it. Very, very good movie. My guess, though, is that probably How to Train Your Dragon 3 is going to win. To me, Dragons 3 is probably going to win because their past two movies were pitted up against Pixar in their prime, and they, some could argue, unlawfully lost to them. And while I think that Dragons 3 is probably the least strong of all of them, it's more than likely going to win just because it hasn't already. So that's my guess, at least. So yeah, there's another month's worth of movies. If you haven't seen them already, I'd suggest check them all out. Yeah. See you later.